Hello, I'm Brandon Littleton, and here's my take on early childhood music education. My philosophy on this subject is largely influenced by my lack of music education at an early age, brought about primarily because of being raised in a very rural environment here in Alabama where music education was and still is completely lacking, and coupled with being raised in a strict religious environment that limited my access to music in general. And I always felt as a uh, early young adult at music college, always felt behind the ball. I remember showing up to college at 17 years of age and really and truly still struggle with feeling the rhythm of an eighth note and a triplet. That's not the place you want to be if you're trying to be a music major. That you don't show up to college trying to learn the basic stuff. I want to be a successful music major. But I nevertheless plugged along for my studies in church music those 20 years ago. But I always felt behind the ball, so to say, because I couldn't relate to music as an organic thing. It was very mechanical, very analytical approach to it. My finger goes here because that hieroglyphic on the page tells me. I remember being 17, 18, and sitting in a college choir for the first time and watching people beside me sight read music. I had no way of relating to that. For me to learn a song, someone needed to play it, and I needed to hear them sing it over and over and over, and I would duplicate it. These people didn't have to. They could look at the hieroglyphics on the page and follow those patterns and sing it. And my mind was blown away. Fast forward 10 years later, and I started a music studio of my own. And my approach to music education for the young ones has been motivated primarily because of what I did not have. Creating an environment where music is an organic experience, not so much another activity on the child's list of things to do that week. I've done my soccer, done my math tutoring, done my swim lessons, now let's do music. I always try to encourage the parents to think about this as being a lifestyle. So many times I'd ask students, well, tell me the music you're listening to. And they're not listening. They don't know. And how difficult it is to get them to play a minuet or a sonatina or a sonata. And they've never heard anything like that. And particularly if their musical database is confined to the 3 or 4 chords that are repeated ad infinitum on pop music. Nothing wrong with pop music. But my approach, my belief in early music education is that it is an all hands on deck between the music teacher and the parents. My music studio, we held for several years, we did kinder music classes in the day and in the afternoon in the hopes of allowing those young ones, even the toddlers, the 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, being exposed to rhythm on a regular basis so after they graduate from the program, they could come into private lessons already feeling the rhythm, already being aware of intonation, the high sounds, the low sounds, the sad sounds, the happy sounds, having tactile relationships with the instruments and knowing their way around a keyboard. That puts them miles ahead of the average person that has no background whatsoever. I believe that early music education should be as organic as possible. For me, it was too mechanical, too analytical. We need to feel it like we would a language. And over the years, I've seen numerous of adult students come in who've never had formal lessons, and they could really play the crap out of this instrument, and they wouldn't know what they're doing. But they had developed it organically, and they were marvelous musicians. So I think the key to early music education is first and all learning to develop an ear for listening. And if we can inundate their lives around musicians and around listening, then we have a database upon which to build when it comes to the actual private music lessons time.